Welcome to episode 69 of Just One More Topic. I am Dridrakius.
And I'm Tiborius. And in lieu of the obvious joke you would probably expect from that particular episode number, we're actually going to use it to tackle a more interesting topic. Let's talk sexuality in video games.
And real quick, weren't we bigger?
Me never.
But
There,
anyway.
I got off my Apple box.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is a topic, and this is something we could probably turn into a very multi-episode, but I mean, just at its root. I mean, if you look at all the testosterone and machismo that's rife in games, sexuality is generally not very well approached. Duke Nukem, for example. But then again, that game's supposed to be a satire. But I mean, if you look at the general, most heroines, or most female characters, period, it's ridiculous, the proportions they give. And when they do try to address this, it's getting better, thank God.
It is getting
Tomb
better.
Raider?
Yes, I was surprised when Square Enix, when they purchased Eidos, and they actually toned down Lara Croft.
Yeah, yes, she is still... I mean, not only did they forego the whole decimal point problem that gave her the gazongas in the first place, but, I mean, they toned her down, her entire mentality. See, it's not just in the view of women. It's the very nature that most women are given. They wrecked Samus Aran in Other M because
they really
all
did.
of a sudden, this badass bounty hunter, one of the first true heroines in gaming, all she cares about is what a guy thinks. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. She went from, 20 years before that? Well, no, not 20 years. About 20 years before that of answering to nobody, doing whatever
Not
she
ever
wanted
having to say nothing, and then just...
Yeah. Please accept me.
Well, and then on top of it all, I mean, any actual kind of... It's like a bad action movie with most games. Anything that actually pertains to sex is like bad innuendos and third-grade jokes. Very few games are even brave enough to tackle it. Let's look at some of the ones that did it well. Mass Effect.
And Dragon Age, the first one, not
Yep.
the second one. Second one sucked.
I don't
Second one was
care.
horrible.
There was a huge thing about Mass Effect that went awry, and I'm not getting into it because it really gets my blood boiling. Fox News. That should explain enough.
Yeah.
But
Which is usually the root of most video game problems to begin with.
And Mass Effect tackled it tastefully. I mean, they didn't get insanely graphic, but they actually made you develop relationships with a character that at any point could turn around if you decide to start being a dickbag. Yes, now this is somewhat askewed because being nice to somebody and telling them what they want to hear all the time isn't a guaranteed way to build a relationship and or get laid. But it does help.
Yeah, being honest, truthful.
And then they also tackled
Caring.
They also tackled the whole
Gay, lesbian
not
thing.
word I'm looking for, but that too. Forget it. Yeah, we'll go with that as well.
I'm not sure what you're going with that.
Interspecies, maybe. No. But so that was brave. Now, if you want to see a true standout game that handles sexuality, because sexuality is not simply the act. Sexuality is who we are. I don't care if you're straight, if you're bisexual, if you're homosexual. Who you are pervades that. And all too often, I mean, homosexuals both in the LGBT culture in both film and gaming and media are becoming more prevalent, but they're still, it's like this backwards ass racism kind of thing. They never actually take a real look. It's very rare. Now, one of your favorites on the PSP, Persona 4 Golden, they have a character
Vita.
in there. Vita, thank you. Sorry, PS Vita. It's one of the most amazing portrayals I've ever seen. He is completely unsure of himself for who he is. And the growth that what's his name again? I don't remember. Anyway, the growth that he goes through is just magnificent to watch. This is what we need. We don't need to ham fist just pointless stereotypes down people's throat. We don't need, look, I'm a big muscly guy, and I'm a stupid girl. You know, they just like, screw the Barbie, screw the He-Man crap. We are getting into an era where we actually need to show people for what they are. Sexuality is inherent to our very nature.
And I'm wondering, I mean, for the most part, a lot of the industry from the 80s and 90s was dominated by Japanese developers, and just the Japanese culture is not exactly known for, I mean, it could be known for, toning things down, but from what we see from anime and all that kind of stuff is super
Hypersexualized. And
exaggerated as well. That was the
Yeah.
word that I was trying to come up with. It's
And not-
hyper exaggerated.
not to mention interchangeable Like,
Yeah.
boys and girls don't really look all that different.
No, not really.
Like, and a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot. I'd say about 90% of them. Yes. But now they're, since pretty much around the time of the Xbox launching, PC gaming kind of getting its revitalization and more Western developers kind of jumping in. We're starting to see some of the bigger games be fairly toned down. And I'm not saying that the Japanese are at fault or whatever, but it just kind of seems like that hyper exaggerated, sexualized characters
But people are getting bored
aren't
of
as
it.
prevalent, or aren't as
Prevalent?
that one.
Words.
Prevalent.
People are getting bored of it. Like, it's not the same shock value anymore. Sure, you're teenagers or you're 12-year people hitting puberty. Yes, it still gives them giggles. A lot of gamers are adults, and guess what? Sexuality is great, but oh look, another big-breasted idiot woman that or another hugely masculine guy. I mean, these things have their place, but it's not in every single thing. Anytime you see a woman, she doesn't have to be the same recreation of this caveman-esque mentality. I mean, like, we went back to Tomb Raider. I remember in our review we did on it, it's like somebody there actually spoke to a woman when creating the character for Lara Croft. Making people and actually displaying these relationships in a realistic manner, or I guess video game realistic, because let's face it, nothing is set in a realistic manner in video games. If they were, that would suck. Not even The Sims, which is reality, is realistic. But, I mean, just, again, I go back to Persona 4 and how well done that was.
All of the characters have amazing development.
Use it to teach people things. Mass Effect was a good start. Persona 4 was fantastic. But the biggest thing is breaking down these walls. Why be scared of it? I mean, you have so many parents outcrying over the Mass Effect thing. Never mind the fact that in that game, you can commit xenocide, and you spend most of it murdering just about everything you see. That's fine. We can wipe out an entire race because they're different. We're okay with that. But was that side ass? Did I see side boob? No. Like,
is that an under boob?
yeah, like, why is that an issue? Do you not want people to... I mean, we need... it drives me crazy.
Yeah. There is so many more. So many... There are much more severe problems in the world than some of the issues that get brought up about video games. Like, they're just...
Yeah, but we're in the purview of our show. We don't care about...
Yeah. Another kind of on this same topic is like what Hi-Rez recently did with Kali.
Yeah.
And
Smite. We're talking Smite.
yes, Smite, for those who don't know. But people were complaining, parents were complaining that Kali was too overly sexualized.
Oh, no, the Hindu people.
Not parents. Yeah, sorry.
Well, and this gets into a whole murky area because of all the different mythologies or religions they have displayed in Smite. Hinduism is actually still practiced, so it's always a problem when they bring in new gods. But yeah, Kali.
She was being bombarded with being overly sexualized. However, in Smite, she wears clothes.
It's scantily clad, admittedly, but Kali is also she is the great destroyer. She is fierce, she is severe, but she is always depicted as a terrible beauty.
And all the stuff that I've looked up about her is that throughout all artwork that I have found of actual, authentic, white. We just destroy cultures.
Yes.
She's naked, completely naked.
They could have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, heaven forbid that. But again, and there you go into it. I mean, even there, it's a Western audience doing it. So, naked, we can't handle it. And you know what? They're fucking right. We are our own worst enemies at this. We're horror in the hip movies. Like, just grow the hell up.
Yeah.
Dick joke. All right.
Yeah. Well, but this was episode 69 of Just One More Topic.
I really want to talk about this more. Can we, set this up, please?
Possibly,
Okay.
but once, do we have to wait till episode 169, or...
Anyway, what do y'all think? What are some horrible things that you've seen, or things that made you proud of how they portrayed it? Or do you just like boobies? Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Tridrachius.
Yes. And that's Tiborius.
Yay.
can't really make myself shorter at this angle. Anyway,